welcome to the Revere School Committee of the Whole meeting. It's June 15th, 2021. It is currently 5 p.m. Roll call.
Mrs. Bronson Rizzo,
Here.
Mr. D'Ambrosio,
Here.
Mr. Ferranti,
Here.
Mrs. Gravellisi,
Here.
Mr. Sinella, Ms. Ty,
Here.
Mayor Arrigo.
Okay, we'll start off with the consent calendar. Anyone have any questions of the minutes as submitted? Okay, anyone have questions for the warrants? Mr. Ferranti?
Okay, on page 1, number 33, Revere Sporting Goods Staff Appreciation. Just a quick explanation what we did there.
So that's, the account number on that is 320208. So that would be the Garfield School purchasing, was it t-shirts or sweatshirts, something like that, to give to their staff at that school. Part of the allocation that the buildings get each year is principal's discretionary fund, so he would have used that for that purpose.
I just have two other ones. Matt, on page 17, number 601, $556 for Chromebooks license. Is that to purchase the Chromebooks, or is that just to have them licensed? It's CDWG Inc., 601.
Yep, so that would be, if you took a look at that purchase order, you would see 3 different line items. One is for the Chromebooks themselves, one is for the licenses to have them supported, and then the third would be for the, it's called extensions, but the plugs, to plug them in. They priced all 3 of those separately,
Yep.
so that's what's appearing there.
Okay, and my last question, on the same page, number 620, Sharon Ann Hoover, what do we pay her for? Contracted service, $21,000. 620.
I can address that one if you want, Matt.
Sure.
So we contracted with Dr. Hoover to conduct our mental health audit, which was recently completed. And she is working on a report that we're going to meet with her to hear the preliminary results next week, and we'll have a full report to the committee at the July meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else, any questions on the warrants? Okay, moving down, no financial reports, no food service financials, no communications, enrollment update, no. And personal items for new hirees and resignations. Anyone have questions? Okay, Connie, Ms. Ty?
Question, was Mr. Johnson previously employed in a different capacity by us, or is he newly employed?
He has been employed with us for, I believe it's 3 or 4 years now. He was originally hired to be our social services liaison for families. And so this is basically a promotion for him to now oversee the Parent Information Center, and we will soon be posting his old position to find someone else to do that work.
Thank you.
Anyone?
Thank you.
Mr. Ferranti?
Diane, I see we hired a communications coordinator. When does she start, and how long is her contract?
She started on Monday, and she's an employee at will.
Employee at will. Okay, does that mean that you could let her go, or she could leave at any time?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we have acceptance of donations. First one is from Priscilla Nickerson for $2,500. That goes to the Garfield Elementary School. Do we want to say what it's on, or? Yeah.
So Priscilla is a wonderful former staff member who we are fortunate to still have working in the Garfield school community. In fact, she still serves on their School Improvement Council. And so in her capacity in that position, she has elicited donations in a total amount of $2,500 for the school. And because that is a gift over $1,000, she'll be coming before the committee tonight. She plans to be present at the 6 o'clock meeting to present that award and hopefully obtain the school committee's approval for that gift.
On Zoom, right? She'll be on Zoom?
I believe that she's planning to attend in person.
Okay.
And will she have information as to where those funds will be going?
Her intention is to give them to the school and for the School Improvement Council to determine how those funds should be spent.
Nice.
And how did she gather this money?
Ms. Ty, microphone?
I believe, I'll actually defer that question to her when she's
Okay.
here later tonight.
Thank you.
And also Senator Boncory.
So an additional grant award for tonight that we're going to ask the committee to vote on, and just so that we have the chance to talk about this in the open meeting, we put it actually on both agendas, but through Senator Boncory's office, the high school was awarded a $2,000 STEM grant through Pharma, and that $2,000 will be used to support the robotics program at Revere High School. The grants were targeted to students in grades 9 through 12.
Okay, and the only other thing we have is school field trips, and I guess no one will be taking one by Friday, so are we all set with the consent calendar? And we will be pulling off the acceptance of donations. Are we in agreement of that?
Mm-hmm.
A couple more items here.
Where?
Kalala Awards.
That's number 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so number 2 is the Kalala Awards. Anyone have any,
Sure, if I could. So I think the committee is aware that for many, many years, the city through the city council and the school committee have offered the Kalala Awards for students who excel in grades 5 and 8. And there has been a financial scholarship that went along with that to encourage the students to continue their studies and to continue to work hard and excel. Last year was the last year that we were able to have the Kalala Awards because there was no funding available beyond last year for the scholarship. And so I just wanted to inform the committee that an anonymous donor who requests to remain anonymous has reached out to fund those scholarships again for this year. So Ms. Ty might want to speak on that. I know she's been a key proponent of the Kalala Awards and an organizer of the awards. But our elementary and middle school principals are working with their teams now, they might have actually finished this, to identify Kalala Award recipients who will be announced at the Moving On ceremonies coming up this week. And we will work with the City Council for a formal presentation of the Kalala Awards in the fall.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, you've said it all. But it was really worrisome because I think there has been a lot of admiration toward the Kalala family for thinking about this, and it's something we never had before, and it's given to the person who has the highest academic achievement in the 5th and 8th grade. But that person also has to be a good school citizen, and it has been given to many of our most wonderful children. Not that, of course, we can't give it to them all. And it's been a really great thing, and it's helped, I think, to concentrate all our efforts on some of those recognition of kids. I was thrilled that came up with an anonymous donation. It's Wonderful, and so we will again be giving a $200 donation to each child who wins the Kalala Award, and we will be arranging with the city council. Um, uh, there are people on the committee who have been doing this, and we'll be arranging with the city council, and probably do it in the fall. So, not probably, definitely, I think that's the consensus now.
And Ms. Ty, if you can let us know on the school committee so that we may attend
Of
and
course,
be just as
yes.
proud as
Thank
you with
you. I
our
think-
students.
I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Next is remainder of the meetings for the calendar year. I took the liberty, while I sat home and did nothing today, to write down the following dates. So if everyone wants to look at their calendar and pencil them in, I have July 20th, August 16th. Huh?
I know, that's a Monday. Stacy, July 20th, the third Tuesday?
We do third Tuesdays.
Okay, I thought we did, okay.
No.
I think it was
Third.
the second. It's right, third, sorry.
So what's the third in?
17th, yes.
Oh, okay. So much for doing nothing today. September 21st, October 19th, November 16th, and December 21st.
Perfect.
And everyone, we can just check them out, and I know December 21st is really close to the holiday for many, but if we look them over, we can talk about it as the year goes on, to see if we can make some changes, and we might have even more important things that we might want to push it a week ahead anyhow. And the next one is agenda items. I had asked for this to be on the agenda for reasons being a few different things. Trying to get an agenda that flows a little bit better, that we don't tie up people, and also not making it as long. I'm sorry. I can't even look at Dr. Kelly without laughing. I mean, some people, and some of us, and some of the people that have been watching feel that certain sections are too long, that they feel like they get a little bit lost, and I do admit, as much as we enjoy listening to what's going on in our schools, sometimes it can get a little bit, I don't want what the students are doing get lost. So I did try to put together some kind of an agenda that tried to be respectful of our student representative, public participation, Dr. Kelly, and anyone that comes to do the superintendent report with her. So I'm just going to pass it out, and if everyone can look at it at their own leisure, and maybe we can talk about it at a committee of the whole next month, and try to come up with something that might be a little more enjoyable for everyone. Did I say that all right, Dr. Kelly? I hope I wasn't insulting, but.
No, I acknowledge that sometimes the presentations from the schools can run a little bit long, but I do feel like it's a rare opportunity that we have to really capture the work that our students and our staff are engaged in throughout the school year, and I think it's great to honor the kids and let them have an experience where they're engaged in, you know, the elected official's job and what the school committee is and what that all looks like. It's a way to make it real for kids so that, you know, when I was growing up, we were never invited to a school committee meeting. I didn't know what a school committee was, much less aspire to become a part of one or do any kind of a civic process like that. And I know that yourself and Mr. D'Ambrosio were on a morning session with the Susan B. Anthony students today, and Ms. Ty and Ms. Gravelisi and I were on an afternoon session with them, and it was just a wonderful opportunity to bring civics to students. And I feel like the presentations that the schools do serve that same purpose. And also allow the school committee, but more importantly, the community at large, when they watch these school committee meetings on YouTube or on Revere Cable, to really get a better understanding of what's happening in our schools and what our students are doing and what our teachers are doing and what our administrators are doing, so that they can have a better sense and a little more transparency of what's happening in these buildings that they don't often get to see. So I'll leave it there.
And Dr. Kelly, you're absolutely right, and I don't know how many times Mr. D'Ambrosio and myself invited the students to come here, so, yeah, we're in trouble. They're coming. Please. But yes, I don't want to lose sight of the importance of them speaking. I just, like I know maybe because it's my age, but the last time I tuned out a little on something that I had to be grateful that we had YouTube so I could go back and watch it. Yeah. So, with that being said, if you could just look it over and come up with some of your ideas and, okay, so also, anyone have any questions pertaining to our agenda for the 6 o'clock meeting? And we do have Mr. Cruz here, if anyone has any questions about the budget, if they want to talk to him. No one? So, there's no questions on the agenda?
I do have one question for Mr. Cruz. Matt, from the previous time.
Ms. Ty?
Matt, from the previous time we met,
Yes.
have there been any more than, let's say, typing changes as opposed to material changes in the budget?
No material changes. So the only changes that would have happened is in that small window of time, any personnel changes that were clearly affected
Right.
and moved from one to another, we would update in the detail and update if we had a sense of a change in compensation coming. And then we did have a tiny little surplus to find a place for of $13,000 at the end of a $102 million budget, so we did that as well. But no material changes. So interesting that our work this year is not only so much effort on the appropriate side of the budget, but the ESSER grant funding as well. So most of our efforts between meetings was on that part of it.
Thank you. Any little surplus is good.
First time ever. First time ever.
Any other questions? Any other questions for Mr. Cruz? Okay, any other questions on the agenda items? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Bronson Rizzo,
Yes.
Mr. D'Ambrosio,
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti,
Yes.
Mrs. Gravellisi,
Yes.
Mr. Sinella, Ms. Ty,
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo.
See you at 6 o'clock.